and welcome to the latest episode of the Engaging Marketeer podcast. On this particular episode, it's a very quick podcast because I wanted to talk to you about a new feature that has come out recently on Facebook that I think is really useful for anybody who runs a business on Facebook to know about, but it's also one of those features that could get quite dangerous if it gets overused and certainly misused. It could actually damage your business, damage your brand, lose you followers, lose you contacts, lose you leads, and lose you customers, and get you a lot of complaints. So, sounds brilliant, doesn't it? I know, it sounds absolutely fantastic. So what is it? Well, first of all, it's a feature that's related to groups, to Facebook groups. Now, I have long been advocating that anybody who runs a business on Facebook, rather than just having a Facebook page where you talk about your products, your services, what you do, share blogs and content related to your business, that you should also have a Facebook group. Because Facebook pages, when they first came out on Facebook, had a massive reach. So that if you had, for example, 1,000 followers on your Facebook page and you were to put up a post about your business, a large proportion of your followers would actually see your post. So it was really useful from a marketing perspective. But over the years, the reach of Facebook pages got lower and lower and lower, and now it's probably lower than 4% of followers who see your page will actually see a post you put out. Which means using a Facebook page for marketing your business isn't particularly useful unless you spend money on Facebook advertising, of course. Which is why groups are much better. Because if you have a Facebook group related not to your business as such, but to your industry, say for example, you are a beauty products business, you could have a Facebook group on beauty tips and makeup styles and that kind of thing. If you are a digital marketing company like ourselves, you might have a Facebook group that is about marketing tips and marketing successes and how to basically be successful within your marketing. If you have a business that is mortgages or a business that is letting agents, you might have a Facebook group around property. It makes sense, yeah? So then you invite people to join the group who are following your page or people who are customers of yours. You invite other people you see from contacts around Facebook and you get them into the group. Then when you post stuff in the group, more people will see it. Make sense? Excellent. So that's what we've always said is a good thing to do because you've got a much better reach with the group than you would have with a page. You can even join the group as the page so you can post as your business. It doesn't have to be you and your personal Facebook profile. Because I know a lot of people listening to this who have a business and have a Facebook page for their business don't actually use Facebook themselves as a profile. I completely get that. There's a lot of people hate Facebook, don't want any part of it, but you know it's a necessary evil to promote your business. You can actually be in a group as a page, not as yourself. Now, here's where the real clever thing comes in, because it started to happen over the last year or so, from when this was recorded, year or so, that people who are in Facebook groups didn't necessarily go into the groups to see the content within the group. The majority of content from your group, say for example, you put a post in your Facebook group, that they were seeing it in their Facebook feed, in their timeline. They weren't in the group. Nobody really goes into groups anymore to have a look around. They just see it in their timeline. And they're only going to see it in their timeline if they have engaged recently within the group. So therefore, if you've got 1,000 people in your Facebook group, but they don't engage with the posts, you put a post in your Facebook group, very few people are going to see it in their timeline, you're going to get a very low reach on your post, very low engagement, therefore you're not actually going to get any leads for your business. Back to the same problem we had with the Facebook pages. Whereas if you've got a group with a lot of engagement, a lot of people are sharing your posts, commenting on your posts, liking your posts, when you put a new post within the group, they are more likely to see it in their Facebook feed because they've already engaged with the group recently. Therefore, that Facebook is going to put that in front of them because it thinks that's what they want to see. Makes sense. Right, good. Now, this is where this new feature comes in. Now, this feature was apparently launched a while ago to select people It's now come out again over the last couple of weeks to what I can work out is pretty much everyone. But it's only for admins of Facebook groups, so you have to be an admin in a group. Therefore, if you own your own group, you're an admin in the group. If you're a member of somebody else's group, you can't do this. It's purely for the owners of the group. And you'll see why when I explain what it is. And that's when you create a post in a group, and you can tag people, so you can put the little @ sign, and then start typing someone's name, and you can tag them in the post, and it will notify them that you put that in. That's okay if you want to tag a particular person. What if you wanted to notify everybody in the group that you just put a new post on? Yeah, you can't do that, surely. Well, Facebook now says that you can. You can. You can type in @ and put everyone. Literally write the word everyone. @everyone. And it will notify every single person in the group about your post. Every single person in the group will be notified about your post. Now, there's some caveats with this, because you can imagine how annoying this could be. There are some caveats with this. First of all, only admins can do it, as I said. So other members in the group cannot do this. Only an admin in the group can do this. So be careful who you make an admin. An admin can only do this once every 24 hours in each group. So you can't do this 2 or 3 times a day in the same group. Once every 24 hours. And the most important thing, you will get complaints. You will get people in the group saying, why have you tagged me in this crap? Why have you tagged me in this spam? They will report the post to Facebook. I know this from personal experience. They will report the post to Facebook. They will report the post to the admins of the group, which incidentally is you. So you will then have to reapprove your own post and tell somebody that, no, that's not spam, this is what we're doing. You'll get people saying that this is a rubbish feature, that you're spamming people, you shouldn't be doing it, even though Facebook has introduced it for this very, very reason. So it is a really powerful feature. It is a really powerful feature. You should use it very sparingly, because if you use this too much, you will get people leave your group, obviously. I would make a note of how many people are in the group before you use it, and then check it again 2 days later to see what you've lost. Now, there's an also important tip. There's 2 ways you can do this as well. You can write it within the post, and you can tag everyone within the post in the group, or you can do the post as normal, put the post up as it was, and then in the first comment for the group, you can tag @everyone so that they get notified about the post, but in the comments. Now, I've experimented with this, and I have noticed that if you put on a post and you tag everybody within the post, Facebook seriously delays when it notifies people. I did this at, what time of night was it? It was about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. About 6:30, because I wanted to notify people about an event the next day. They didn't get notified about it until the following day at about 2:45 in the afternoon. Well past the event. Useless. Thank you, Facebook. Brilliant feature. You've made it completely pointless. However, if you put the post up as normal and you do it within the comment, it's instant. People get notified straight away. So I would advise, if you have an event that you are trying to plug, or an online event, or there's something that is time sensitive, and you want it to go out at a particular slot, put the post on as normal and tag people in the comment, not in the post, because the post you just can't seem to control when it's actually going to notify people. Now, I also do suspect that this particular feature will get hammered by people, absolutely hammered, and I suspect that Facebook will throttle its usage or remove it altogether, because there's so many people complaining about it, And there's so many groups I'm in that are using it every single day. And I haven't left any of these groups because I'm deliberately staying in there to monitor them, to see what they're doing and how they use it. And they are using it every single day. I suspect that there will be so many complaints, so much backlash to this feature that eventually Facebook is either going to remove it altogether or they're going to throttle its use somehow. So maybe it'll only hit 50% of people or 25% of people, or only people who haven't been notified about something from another group, or it'll reduce the groups that can use it. Some way it'll reduce it. So if you've got a group for your business and you've not heard of this feature before, give it a go. Give it a go now before Facebook either removes it or reduces its effectiveness, because it is so useful for getting people to see what you want them to see and when you want them to see it, which is a feature that has not existed on Facebook since Pages first came in back in 2008, 2007, something back then. So get on it, enjoy it, and make hay while the sun shines. Thank you for listening to the Engaging Marketeer podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave me a 5-star rating on YouTube or on iTunes or Spotify, whatever it may be. And if you can leave me a review, that would be fantastic as well. I'd really appreciate it. So I will catch you on the next podcast.